you babes, Jessica here from the Mom Squad. Backstory to start off, when I was 6 years old, my family found out that my cousin, who I looked up to, who I admired, who I wanted to be just like, was being sexually abused by her father. When this came to light, it affected me on a completely different level than anybody realized that it would or could. This cousin was someone that I looked up to. I admired her so much. I wanted to be just like her. I wanted to always be with her, surrounded by her, do everything with her. And the fact that she was abused by somebody that she trusted was incredibly hard on me. It caused a lot of turmoil inside of my relationships. I started to not trust men, whether it was a teacher or a coach or even my own father, which was really ridiculous because my father would never do anything to hurt his little girl. But it caused a lot of issues for me, and still does to this day. I still occasionally have issues being alone with men that I don't know, whether it be at a gym or at work or anything of that sort. Sexual abuse doesn't just affect those people immediately involved in it. It affects people on a whole different level. When all this stuff happened with my cousin, there was no support. There was no help. There was no understanding. Now, I'm older than a lot of you, so it's important to realize that the same things that are available and the same sense of understanding that there is now was not available then. There was no Facebook, there was no Instagram, there was no YouTube, there was none of that. So we were left to battle on our own. I couldn't even speak of it to anybody else outside of my family until I was in high school. That is what we have to realize is so hard about sexual abuse. We don't understand why it happens, why somebody would hurt somebody in that way. So it is our job as a community to come together and support her. I want to speak firstly to those teens that may be watching this. I want you to understand that no adult should ever take advantage of you. You should never feel guilted or forced into a situation that you're not comfortable with. No adult should ever put their hands on your body, take pictures of you, ask for pictures of you. Now, as coaches, there may come circumstances where they may have to touch you. They may have to help you, show you where to put your hands, how to move your body, things of that sort. But they should always, always, always ask for consent. They should always ask you, is it okay if I do this? And if you do not feel comfortable with them doing it, you have a right to say no. And they need to respect your decision that you say no. I also plead with you that you make sure that you are always safe in what you are doing. If you feel uncomfortable for any sort of reason, don't be alone. Ask a friend to stay with you during a coaching session or after open gym or something of that sort. Ask your parents to be there. It is 100% okay for that. No adult should ever, ever, ever ask you for pictures or for videos or anything of that sort. If they do, be sure to tell the trusted adult. As well as if you have a friend who comes to you with concerns or says that a coach asked them for pictures, or a teacher or another adult of any way, shape, or form asks them for pictures, ask them to meet them alone, ask them for one-on-one communication, make sure that you support that individual and that friend, and make sure that they understand that it's not right what they're doing. And if they don't listen to you, or they say, oh, it's okay, or they brush it off, there's nothing wrong with you going and telling a trusted adult as well. This next part, I want to talk to the parents. Whether you're the parent of a ninja or a parent who does ninja, I want to talk to you about warning signs and how you can keep your child safe. Because really, when we get down to it, that's what we want to do. When it comes to warning signs, we want to make sure that the other adults, the other coach or parent or whatever, isn't asking to have any sort of one-on-one, only the child and the coach interactions. You have a right as a parent to be able to watch your child being coached. Now, with that being said, there's a difference between being a sage parent and making sure your child is safe. You can give your child distance by watching them on the sidelines or watching them through a window or something of that sort, and not being right next to your child when they are training. You shouldn't be talking to your child while they're being coached, but you should be able to hear at least some of the coaching that is going on. You should always be able to see your child. Your child to never, ever go into a room alone with another adult. We should also make sure that no coach is specifically only texting, messaging, calling your child. All communications should go through you. They shouldn't be friends on Facebook. They shouldn't necessarily be following them on Instagram. They shouldn't be direct messaging them. If they are, you have a right, and I plead with you, to tell the coaches to stop. And if they don't stop, or if they tell kids that their little secret, cut that relationship off. If a coach is wanting to do hands-on training with your child, whether it be showing them how to hold something, like by putting their hands on it, or the coach needs to put their hands on the child's body to pick them up, or things of that sort, the coach should always ask you if it's okay first. That is something that I have learned from being a swim teacher, from being a personal trainer, and from being a swim coach myself. Whenever you go to touch a child, you should always make sure that it is okay, not only with the child, but also with the adult, or with the parent, I should say. Lastly, I want to plead with parents that you should always have an open line of communication with your child. You need to stress to your children that there is nothing that they should be scared to come to you about. That if somebody does something that they're uncomfortable with, that they can come and talk to you about that. So with that, that's all I have for you guys. I hope that this has given some ease to you guys in this situation. It's not a fun situation that we are in, but what we have to remember is that we need to stick together as a community. If you need help, realize there's nothing wrong with reaching out to somebody, whether it is an adult or a therapist or someone in the ninja community that you trust. Just remember, we're all in this together. You remember, being a ninja is about being resilient, about overcoming whatever obstacles that might face you through the course or through life. We're just there for everybody. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.